Well, comedian David Spade taking a swipe at President Obama.
Because I thought, you know, a president should have a little more dignity than. I mean, I realized that Woodrow Wilson went on Dancing with the Stars once, but what president's doing reality shows? It just seems a bit thirsty for me. That's all.
Oh, joining me now from San Diego, KFMB radio host Mike Slater and host of Mornings on the Mall on WMAL in Washington and editor-at-large at IJReview.com, Larry O'Connor. Gentlemen, it's kind of a little surprising, don't you think, to see Hollywood criticizing people going on reality shows, Mike?
Well, he'll probably be blacklisted now. But you know what's kind of interesting? The frontrunner on the Republican nomination most recently is known for being the host of his own reality show. And I don't want to change topics on Trump too much, but I was talking to someone the other day. His two sons, they're like 14 and 16, love Donald Trump because they only know him as a reality show star, a decisive decision maker reality show star, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it really is. And Larry, pick up on that because this whole business about a reality, I mean, a lot of people do tune in, and I've heard from people on the left that have looked at the debates and everything else because of the celebrity of Donald Trump. So when it comes to the voting booth, though, are they going to go, really, I'm going to vote for a celebrity?
Well, it certainly brings them out to rallies, and it has them answer polls. Whether they're going to vote or not, obviously, that remains to be seen. But listen, Barack Obama has created this environment. He brought celebrity to the table 7 years ago when he ran. He ran on a poster and a one-word slogan and really no agenda. Let's face it. What was Barack Obama's real agenda during the election? What was his stand? What were his principles? Nothing. He made us feel good about ourselves. That's what celebrities do. It's funny that David Spade is jumping out on this, and good for him. But let's face it, Saturday Night Live, his old show, has become a pilgrimage for these candidates. They've got to go there. Why is it okay for them to go on Saturday Night Live, but not okay on a reality show? Where was he when Barack Obama was on Between Two Ferns? Where Barack Obama was on Jimmy Fallon? When Barack Obama was playing with a selfie stick? I'm glad he's here, but where was he years ago when we were criticizing this?
Well, and there's more of that. Apparently, Hillary's going to go on an interview. I don't know the name of the lady, but remember the YouTube lady in the bathtub that
with the Fruit Loops. Oh, fantastic!
Whatever her name is.
Well, that'll be a meeting of the minds.
Hillary's going to give her an interview.
Yeah. Well, let's make sure we keep Bill Clinton out of the bathtub because that'll be a mess.
No,
you don't want that.
Come on.
Yeah.
I would pay money for that. I would do a pay-per-view for that. I actually would. All right. So the president sent a email to his Obama for America, and he said, "I've got 12 more months to go, and I'm going to squeeze every bit of ounce of change I can while I am still in office, and that's what I intend to do." Mike, he already told us he has a phone and a pen and paper or something else along those lines. In other words, what do you think he's going to do in the next 12 months?
Oh, it's going to be so much related to global warming. That's going to be his great legacy as he leaves office, and it's going to be horribly destructive. But because it's a couple days after Christmas, I'll leave you with a glimmer of hope. I think it was Ted Cruz who said any of these executive orders that the president signs can be unsigned by another executive order. So hopefully Congress doesn't oblige and put these things into law, and the president forces them through because the next president can remove them just as easily. Hopefully, he'll do that.
Yeah, that will be. Yeah, we'll see if the president does. Unfortunately, most of them don't unwind previous executive orders. I don't know where they're going to go in the next year, and maybe the global warming, global cooling agreement, Larry. That was the silliest thing I've ever seen because they even said it's not enforceable because Congress wouldn't pass it. So why did they do these things that are not enforceable?
Well, first of all, it makes them all feel great about themselves. It makes them feel intellectually superior because they're latching on to phony science that they are quite sure is legitimate. But more importantly, it enriches and helps prop up the bank accounts of all of their biggest supporters. I mean, people are not looking at the money involved here. All of these initiatives, whether it's enshrined in law or not, it opens the floodgates for money internationally, and a huge number of Democratic Party contributors are all sucking at the teat of the global warming industry, from Solyndra UDRA all the way down. This is basically a payoff to all of those campaign supporters.
And the only reason, the third world countries signed along to this, they don't care about global warming. They need fossil fuels to lift themselves out of the third world into the first world like we did. They don't care about this stuff. They just want the money. And they're getting $100 billion out of this. Great for them.
If I was a third world country, I would say yes. Send your billions to my country so I can become cleaner or whatever it might be. But it's exactly like both of you gentlemen. You follow the money, you'll always find the answer somewhere in there. So Mike Slater out in San Diego, Larry O'Connor in D.C., thank you gentlemen both very, very much. Have a good New Year.
Thanks, great to be here. Thank you.
All right, in our online poll, 90% of the viewers up to this show believe that the children of presidential candidates should be off limits to political attack ads. That's interesting because of Ted Cruz, obviously, and his children that were brought up last week. That's it.